It's the Game of the MTG Show.
Not a very exciting pack, huh? You want me to Brawler because I'm going to be 5-color? I guess. Seems like the sort of card that should wheel. The 4X Cascade Hydra. That's a sweet one. We've seen it in the Living the Dream cube before. And it is very fun to resolve. Brawler Wheels. Yeah, I didn't want any of those other cards either, though. Looking at Rafine's Tower, Underground Sea, and Generous Ent. All pretty reasonable. Maybe this will be one of these drafts where I get to wheel some Tri-lands. How'd the last draft go? This is the first draft of the day. Pretty rare that we get to start a draft with a stip like this, but it just worked out. I wonder if I could do an Emrakul deck. That'd be kind of sick. There's a Jetmir's Garden there, though. Alright, now I gotta start taking Triomes. Goryo's Vengeance is a thing. It's a way. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Is the stip exactly one, or at least one of each basic? Yes. You think Emrakul's mad because she wasn't in the girl power stip? She still showed up. Terrifying. Terrifying game of Magic. Yeah, Branding Search would be a great wheel, if we're doing the Goryo's Vengeance thing. Are there any other stips I particularly enjoy doing? The less I have to explain them, the more I tend to enjoy them. The more time I spend just drafting and playing Magic. I don't think we're going to be a Eureka deck. Or an Upheaval deck. Let's take this Wrath. That was in the finals, yeah. Blocking Emrakul with a bat so I could live. So, for one of each basic, that means you need to draft 12 other lands. You get 3 packs, so 4 lands per pack is pretty good. That's why I haven't been grabbing a non-basic like literally every single pack. It's not necessary. We'll get there. It'll be alright. One of the things about going 5 colors that you will see fixing that you need. You do have to take care about the balance of the fixing. So World Spine Worm is good with Flash. It's not particularly good with Goryo's Vengeance. Actually, it does work with Goryo's Vengeance, but it's just 15ing them. It's not getting the Annihilator. I was gonna take a Triome. Triomes are sweet. What makes Super Friends Stip so bad these days? I just haven't seen it win in years. Or come close to winning. You know, it's being bad. There are obviously good Planeswalkers in the cube. There's very powerful Planeswalkers in the cube. But if you're drafting only Planeswalkers, if you're drafting like a critical mass of Planeswalkers, that means you're not getting removal, acceleration, all the things that you need to survive. If you watch me when I'm drafting and playing Vintage Cube, I'm very often looking for an opener that does something fucking immediately, you know, something in the first few turns of the game. And you can't reliably have a deck that does that if you're drafting a bunch of fucking 5-mana do-nothings. So it just doesn't work. You end up with a deck that has no good matchups. You're asking me if I'm a Triome hater as I'm doing a 5-color stip? Cool. It was Van Wedge. It was fun in the old days to have a bunch of walkers in play, and and have them all like protect each other and stuff. But that doesn't happen. Like the best walkers these days fucking dead your opponent. Like it's like Minsk and Boo, it's like 2 turns. And then you want the rest of your deck to fucking power out that Minsk and Boo as quickly as possible. And I'm just taking the sneak, huh? It's a thing to do. Noble would be great too. Yeah, Minsk and dead, exactly. Well, the Omnath should wheel. They're extending the current round of Vintage Cube through the weekend. That's very good news for me. Well, let me change this stream title. Ashen Rider, we feeling Asheny? Ashen Rider is a good one to Eureka, because then when they put in something obnoxious, you get to answer it. Yeah, let's play the Eureka. We are so far from a Saga deck. I'll grab a Teferi here. Savannah's a little tempting. Why even have a break-in cube? Because they want to update it. They want to switch. They want to switch versions. So it's only going to be down for 5 days, but when it comes back, they'll have taken out some of the duds. Sounds awesome. Just throw a Hex Drinker in. Parallax Wave is good, but we do have a bunch of 4s. That'd be a fun one to put into play after Eureka. What were some of the duds this go around? There were a few cards that I would cut. Personally, but who knows what they're going to do, right? New Oko and New Jace, I think were 2 of the worser cards. Hey, there it is. Thinking about Tireless Tracker or Jace here. I think both make sense. Because we have all these 4s, maybe I'll go with the Tracker. You can put Planeswalkers into play off of Eureka, though. Yeah. I just haven't seen this card played much at all. I tried playing it in a deck, and it was just, like, never correct to cast it. Just underpowered. Oh, wait, this is Sunfall. Let's draft Sunfall. You weren't impressed by Invigorate? Yeah, Invigorate is a lot worse when you don't have all the pump spells. I was kind of surprised it stayed in. Like, they cut better pump spells than Invigorate. Like, Berserk and Monstrous Rage are both way better than Invigorate. I played it a couple of times, and it was just always, like, a bad burn spell. What I want here is some Talismans. Oh, Binding's good, right? This is, like, the deck for Binding. You love the pump spell deck? Yeah, me too. Yeah, that deck was sick. It doesn't require a ton of cards, either. Like, they left Dreadhorde in, so, like, it's literally just Monstrous Rage and Berserk and, like, one other card. Oh, Talisman, nice. I was just thinking I wanted some Talismans. Get up to our sweepers sooner. Omnath Wield, perfect. We've seen some fetches, huh? We didn't get, like, any lands this pack, but we got so many in pack 1, that's fine. Balance it out a little bit. Remember, we're going to have 5 basics, so we're at, like, 12 lands right now. Overgrown Tomb's not amazing, because our black requirements are kind of low. I'm going to take the Commercial District. Oh, it's another comes to play tap land, though. Yeah, fuck it, give me the Tomb. Yeah, so we only need 4 more lands. Another Talisman Wheel, perfect. Currently, the Goru's Vengeance isn't amazing. Also, I need more white duels, right? We have 2 white sources currently. Hey, there we go. They were like base green white here. They did Thopter Gifts. Yeah, I just saw that. Very good for me. Means I can jam Cube to my heart's delight, my heart's content, and then when it ends, I'll have those last like few days. Yeah, through to this weekend, and then Friday I'm leaving for the RC, so I'll have like those last 4 days to cram testing. I'll take a Sentinel, huh? Sentinel's pretty good. Could take Ponder. Yeah, maybe Ponder's better with our sweepers here. How many blue sources do we have? Like 2 currently. Sanctum's not crazy. It's not great, but it's not crazy. The Triumph would give me another white source. Think about that Inquisition. I actually have a solid amount of... Oh, the Lrien Revealed. It's like a fetch, right? There's an actual fetch. It's excellent Talisman. I think the fetch is better. Yeah, especially with Omnath, Containment Priest would be an odd one to put in your sneak attack Eureka deck. Seems like a Leovold shell if I've ever seen one. The double blue on Narset seems a little rough with what we got going on so far. Dead to Crocus. No, we got an Ashen Rider. Shinobi with sneak attack is indeed silly, yeah. Vampiric Tutor looks really good in this deck. There's also a Plateau and an Archon here. I think Plateau would help a lot. Vamp's also fixing, though. And we need like one land drop, maybe two, and then we can cut Besiege. Hell yeah, Mazelam. Silly good or silly bad? I think... I mean, if it connects, it's silly good, right, Luca? Probably silly bad. The cool thing about sneak attack is cheating the cost, right? Holy shit, that's an Atraxa. So hard to pass Strix here. Excuse me. That was a late Atraxa, yeah. Basically anyone that's cheating in things, whether the Reanimator or what have you, would be happy with an Atraxa. Is Zagoth Triome an upgrade here? Is Concealed Courtyard. The Triomes are a bit slow, but they turn on Leyline Binding, which is a nice efficient removal spell. And then we have some sweepers to catch up. Some talismans to ramp. We're doing powerful things here. We don't have much in the way of like Moxen and Time Walks and stuff. We're a little underpowered in terms of power, but we do have a nice mixture of cheat effects and things to cheat out. Nice. Yeah, I might not have enough blue in here for this Ponder. I love Hexdrinker, but maybe this isn't the spot for it. We're just not gonna have a ton of mana lying around to level it up, right? We are gonna be cutting some of these lands, yeah, to fit some basics in. Might even cut a Triome. There's a lot of Triomes here. And the land cyclers are kind of slow. How many forests do you generally need for Sprawl? At least 7, but ideally more. We're doing pretty good on forests. How are we doing on white mana? That's a question. White and red mana, Okay, I think I can actually cut this Concealed Courtyard. Then I need one more cut here. Definitely not a red source. So close. So close, Moto, to the perfect mana base. Oh, this hand's kind of weak to discard. Gonna fetch out a Plateau for 2/2 Talisman here. Yeah, fetch Plateau, Talisman of Curiosity. That's a fucking terrifying card, given our current hand. Now, if Eureka comes into play on tap land, we can Eureka next turn. And if we don't, then we can just go like to Fairy Bounce, play a Garden or something. That could be fine. Fade the Thoughtseize, fade the Hymn to Tarak, fade the fucking Mind Twist. And some great basic choices. Shall we? But the opponent's going to regret playing their Flesh Gorger. Because it could be a larger one. Oh, they're a sneak attack deck. That could go poorly for me. And Liliana. Yeah, it's kind of poor for me, huh? We can't actually... So I'd love to bounce this sneak attack. At least they don't currently have any red mana. I think what I need to do is bounce this Dothy. Because if they untap and Liliana Edict me, if I sack the Ulamog, then they simply sack the Dothy to cast the Ulamog and kill the Emrakul. And it's much worse if we give them the Emrakul. So we just have to get this Dothy off the board. So they can play it and then Edict us, but then they're not going to get it immediately, right? Because the Dothy will have Summoning Sickness. Unless they rip a red source for the sneak attack. In which case, I'm fucked. We'll see. Yeah, GLHF, I suppose, yeah. Oh my god, one card deeper. One card deeper. That would have been so good. Opponent in the tank. Taking a little tank over there. I wonder if I can make skeletons work in standard. Maybe like a black-white version where you're just like slamming Wedding Announcement if you don't have the hasty skeleton thing. Wedding Announcement's pretty good. Hey, Chad Shuby thinks the Saw thinks it's 65 months. Appreciate it. Oh, thanks, Nerdy Steve. There's the 3-mana enchantment that gives your skeletons +1/+0 in haste and spits out a 2/2, and then if something died at a turn, you can bring it back to your hand. That card's nuts. That card just like beats all the disruption in the world, all the removal in the world. You just like roll people. The issue is winning games where you don't have that card. That's that's been the issue in my testing. Is that you only have it like half the time. So maybe Wedding Announcement could do something. Give you that delayed anthem. How is this board state possible? We just Eureka. And then my opponent is something. Priority always passes Colony of Ants, not just when you have mana. There's a lot of cards in Magic that don't cost mana, so it'd be pretty awkward if you never had priority to like cast a Force of Will, right? Or are you asking why are they tanking? I think they were just AFK. But that doesn't matter at Colony of Ants. It doesn't matter that I have a Teferi in play. What matters is that you give the opponent the ability to have the priority, right? With Magic Online, like Magic still has to work the same way, whether your opponent has a Teferi or not. The rules have to be the same. Yeah, it's not Arena, it's like passing for your opponent or whatever. Opponent is not edicting. Interesting. Did not see that coming. Toxic Deluge for 15. Okay. Fair enough. It does not, Busy Boy. I think I have to Leyline Binding that fucking Dothy. This is too good here. And then I think they're going to flip the Concealing Curtain, so there's no real reason for me to hold on to this Taiga, right, for the Liliana uptick. That Lily uptick is brutal. Because they're going to have lethal next turn. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to hardcast this Griselbrand. I don't think it's happening. Leyline Lily doesn't work, because then your opponent untaps and their only play is to flip this eye, which takes your Griselbrand. And then they sacrifice this Dothy, and they get a Griselbrand. Only opponent had a sweeper, fortunately, Blaze it. They're just edicting me? They're not alting? Interesting. The ult is so good there. That's what I was thinking, but... Whoever just cast this Generous Ent. Yeah, I was thinking about just like tutoring up a land, playing it, and then wrathing. Opponent going down to 3 life. I think we're supposed to exile that eye, huh? There's a firebolt in here, yeah. Oh, yeah, Van Wedge. If I had ulted Lily there, I would have put Leyline Binding plus Leovold in one pile with either like the talismans or maybe the Trilands, and then like everything else in the other pile. That's interesting. Did they think they were going to get to draw a card? We've successfully answered the 3-4. These are the exiled cards. Omnath could draw a card. Ashen Rider's kind of sexy too. Who said Eurekaing in 2 Eldrazi doesn't win the game? I like that we're leaving in Eureka versus a fucking sneak attack deck, though. That's a little bold. I kind of want QB in. Hit that Liliana. Maybe I don't want Wrath. Maybe I don't want like Wrath and Sunfall. Maybe those cards should be out. Well, Wrath would have actually been excellent in that early game, so we wouldn't have had to deal with Voidwalker. The Voidwalker was such a pain in the ass. Glorious Vengeance. How are we getting Legends in the Graveyard Trinkum? The Lily. So they uptick Lily. We discard Emrakul with a shuffle on the stack. We Glorious Vengeance it, and then it exiles at end of turn. I kind of hate this hand. Let's keep it. Last hand did such a good plan. I guess we have Omnath mana. And Parallax Wave mana. And a removal spell. Wouldn't mind a Teferi to reset the Palantir. That was a good game, the last one. Yeah, it was decent. Leovold would be a sick play here. Well, they have red mana this game. The Liliana is here once more. I think we just been Needle Mog, Opponent been Torsten. Let's get my Eureka. Maybe they assume I wouldn't do it again. Or maybe they have a reanimation effect for it. All lined up, all pretty. Alright. I've decided I'm now going to start letting them draw with Palantir. They did top into us taking 16, yeah. Oh, I should have exiled it before their turn. Address is a bit of a bummer. I was planning on sneak attacking in the Omnath to attack Liliana next turn. And then using the Parallax Wave to exile the Omnath. Leyline Binding would be sick here. If they had sacked the Dothy for the Firebolts, they could have hit me with Mutt for the win. Or I guess the Parallax Wave would have just hit the Mutt. Yeah. More Vintage Cube, you know it. What do we think? Are they going to Edict me? Or are they going to alt? Hey, good evening, Tybalt. Torsten's probably going to win this. Yeah, it's good enough for me. We had game against their board. You know, we can Vampiric Tutor for like Teferi for the Palantir or Leyline for Liliana or whatever. And then when this pops, we get Omnath back. But I think we're going to have a rough time against their fresh grip there. Had a bunch of critters. Wasn't looking good for us. I guess I could have vamped for Sunfall maybe. Like they play out their hand, and then we just like Sunfall it. And then we don't have to deal with the death trigger of Torsten. Maybe that would have been okay. Yeah, maybe that was early. I don't know. You're scared about Eureka? Well, it's a good thing you're not fucking piloting. It's a good thing we don't have a goddamn coward that's piloting. Oh, I'm scared, Caleb. Oh, what if you play your card and then you don't win? So ideally we had some lands here, huh? Turn through this Leovold. No, Duress, my only weakness. The only way we could have lost. The backup plan is finding a sneak attack. We'll see if that can happen. Perfect. Perfect mana base. It's a pretty good mana base. I think we have more black requirements in the deck than blue, so I'm gonna name black. Probably only more black sources to rip too. I don't know. I do want to get the Utopia down though, so like we draw like Talisman of Dominance, for example, then we can play Leovold next turn. Strip mine, perfect. Perfect timing, no notes. That thing's a 3/3 hum. Well, we would have had a fucking Leovold this turn. Hey, Bardaboos, thanks for gifting a sub to Bluntlord Cab. Congrats, Bluntlord. Oh shit, what up? Funny couple of games. This is game 3, right? Yeah, we're gonna tutor up, I guess, Zagoth Triome, then we won't have any white mana. Maybe I'm supposed to chill on the Flooded Strand. No, let's crack it. We have so many codes that play tap lands. Yeah. The Esper land would be perfect, but we don't have that. It's a little awkward. We could grab Raugrin Triome and set up for it to actually have white mana. Or we could do this. The first white source is nice, because then it means you only need one white source, one more for like your double whites that are in the deck. I think getting the Leovold down is good, though. Feels like a good card to resolve. Alright, well. What we really need now is to just rip Sneak Attack and play it. And Black doesn't really have a way of getting a Sneak Attack off the board. And we have so many good things to sneak in. Opponent drawing perfectly? I don't know about that. It's turn 7, they have 8 cards in hand and I'm dead. I think we have different definitions of drawing perfectly, personally. Oh, don't kill me. This is the turn I was going to do something. So, because they played 2 permanents that turn, Sneak Attack Emrakul no longer works, but we can Ashen Rider and hit both their threats. And that's something, huh? That's something. So I'll let them keep the Flesh Gorger. I lose 3 damage either way. I lose 3 health either way. I think I'm supposed to hit the theater. Oh, please don't have 2 damage. Unholy Strength's down in the cube, but there's like Collector Brutality and stuff. There's stuff they could have. Firebolt's a sorcery, Wood R9. No worries. Easy mistake to make. I did think in my head, I wish this Firebolt was an instant, so I could do that play that you're talking about. Of killing the artifact when they shrank it. You think their lifelink is super relevant? I don't. You get them for 25, they sack all of their permanents, right? They have no permanents. They go down to 3 life. Next turn you Firebolt flashback. We get to shuffle all those sweet, sweet sneakables back into the deck. Oh, yeah, well, okay. I was going to cast Ent this turn. That's why I played the land last turn. Ooh, I suppose. I don't think we vamp too early. I think we wait until we get to 4 mana and then vamp for sneak. Exactly, Kadunk. I want a red Triome, and that's just Garden. Fucking uh-oh. I was going to vamp and play Sneak Attack. I think I wait another turn. I think I just untap and Firebolt this Malcolm. And then vamp and then go Sneak Attack plus activate. Loot away Rowmaster here. Interesting. Fair enough. All right, new plan. We both put it in Omnaths. Oh, I should have done my mana differently so I could still Firebolt the Malcolm. That would have been better. Like, I could have put in the Taiga, right? I think. I might be misremembering the lands I had in play. Oh, this will give me mana. No, it won't. Why did I think it would? Oh, it gains life. Well, anyway. You think the Omnath is better? I think this Verdant already fetched out everything it can, but we'll see. Oh, I was wrong. Yeah, sneaking in and annihilating for 4 once doesn't actually seem very relevant. With them getting all the lands in play with Excavator, the Annihilation 4 makes more sense. I might need to be able to Firebolt flashback on one of these, probably the Excavator. Firebolt not dealing 3 damage has been a dicking. It's been real bad for me. Not being a real removal spell. Interesting chump. I figured they'd be happy to eat 10 there and like serve back with Brawler. Because the Omnath's clocking me for 4. So taking 9, 11 in the return is hard. Hope I don't get burned for not Firebolting this Malcolm. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Obvious Cloud, thanks for the 10 months. As much as I want to exile the Ramanop, I might have to binding this Omnath. It's a good time walk. Is this the first time we're going to see Oko be fucking good? This wackadoodle game. Yeah, I'm just dead, right? Because the duelist will be a point of damage. We can block the 3/3. I mean, that does nothing. Or actually it does something. My Emrakul's in my other hand. It's so rare for Brain Freeze to work against me, but alright, I guess we'll scoop here. That's fine. Again, they had lethal on their next turn anyway. Just sped things up. 2 matches in a row would have been real nice to have some graveyard hate. How do I like this version of the cube? I liked it decent. I was really glad that Artifacts is playable again. Because it got, like, I think it got overly nerfed, overly neutered. It just, like, wasn't really a thing last draft. It was like Workshops was a trap, right? Instead of being one of my favorite things to do. I did like a couple of the archetypes that got pulled. I had a good time with Survival being actually good, and that was sweet. And I had a good time with the pump strategy. But, you know, Green-Red's still good, Naya's still good. Not the worst baseline. I think a few duds got added, but, I mean, that always happens, right? Better to experiment than to not. I do Vandwedge, I do remember him. Hell yeah, Tackler. It is a very large brawler. What do we think we want this sprawl to name, That's a good question. I kind of don't think it matters what we name a sprawl. Because our mana base is so good. Double coverages of everything except for black, right? Which could matter for hard casting Ashen Rider. It's just really unlikely to matter, though. Extra red for sneak attack's good, but we already have 3 if I want to play out the garden, which I think I do. Would have been a good Sunfall turn, but I think I want to leave a Binding / Vamp, Point looted away Brawler again. They looted away last game too. Not high on Brawler. I wonder if I'm supposed to Binding first. Binding the Memory Jar and then activate Sneak Attack. I think the odds of them cracking Jar and me not finding something to sneak in are pretty small. Also, I can respond, right? They get activate Jar and then I respond by sneaking into Ulamog again because I have another red. Yeah, it just doesn't matter. Yeah, it's so much of our deck. I have 2 red. Your mom has 2 red. Backseating not desired. Suppose we can keep this. We haven't really gotten to resolve an Atraxa trigger yet, have we? When opponents scoop to it. I was planning on going turn 1 Guard and turn 2 Talisman into Firebolt. Binding's a 3-mana card, right? So if I play Mountain, I can go Talisman Binding. Oh, well. How am I letting the Magda live? Isn't going to come back and burn me. Oh, they've got Underworld, Breach, LED, and Brain Freeze in their deck, Well, is this like hypothetically a win here? Oh, they're going for it. Yeah, they can play the Breach, rebuy, LED, Spellseeker for Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze Self. I've F6'd. This is a good time for me to go get some water. The opponent's not going to be done from their Brain Freezing, because they'll be able to play stuff with the LED mana, but the Brain Freeze by itself doesn't kill me, of course. I want to pop their graveyard out. I'll be back in a minute. Go get some water. All right, how dead are we? They knew about the Ulamog. They gotta have a backup plan, right? They decided not to time walk. Oh, time walking seems really good. I might have considered that if I was them. Maybe they're hoping to get it so that, like, the mill trigger was on the stack, and then they could recall me. Yeah, hoping that they're in the bottom 2. It's so unlikely. If they had a counterspell in their stack, they could, like, Brain Freeze me, and then when we hit an Eldrazi, counterspell the Brain Freeze, and then replay the Brain Freeze. And combo off again with the Eldrazi triggers going. Have they not seen Emrakul yet? I don't know. I missed a good chunk of this turn. I don't know if they've seen Emrakul yet. They would need remand. It wouldn't have to be remand. It could be any actual counter, because I would put that back in their graveyard and they could replay it with Breach. Oh, playing out the Memory Jar would have made it easier, right, if that was their plan? Because then they can fucking make me draw a 10 at instant speed. Or maybe they're planning on making me draw with Recall multiple times. Well, they can do Recall twice. Yeah, this is going to depend on where the Emrakul is, right? Draws better than losing, Dendy. Hey, there's the Emrakul. Never mind, they're fucked. It's just that easy. They have like one more chance, and both Eldrazi need to be in the bottom, however many. They had such an easy win. Just like casting a Planeswalker and time walking. This is game 3, right? Fucking awesome. Oh. Oh. Nope, never mind. Wow. Wow, 4 cards here, only 1 recall. So close! So close! Oh, no. They tried so hard. They tried so hard to brain freeze me. Oh, sweet. We won. How's this deck cruising? How are we just cruising along? I like went and got some water. That was a nice little break. Brain too big to freeze. Yeah, I'm immune. It'd be nice if the Flooded Strand could get a green-red land. We are missing those particular triomes. Oh no, we got Jetmir's Garden. We can get Jetmir's Garden. Yeah, let's do that. Because Sneak Attack and Eureka both want to be double, you know? A Talisman here, so we're doing stuff turn 3 instead of turn 4+ might be good. Yeah, I got an Indatha Triome. I was rechecking my mana base when I said that, to be sure. Just to be sure. Well, now we just need land number 4, I guess. Sneak Attack? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Yes! Yes! What you got, friend? What have you got? Let's see what you got! I also have a Sneak Attack. And an Atraxa. And a Noodlebog. And an Ashen Rider. And an Emrakul. And a Parallax Wave. Close. Yeah, close. The game has ended. Yeah, the Karakas isn't even that good against us here, because they bounce an Eldrazi and we just sing it back into play. It doesn't matter. I was not worried about that one, given our hand. I was pretty sure whatever they're going to put off to the Eureka was not as good as what we were doing. It was a pretty hard card, like 5 or 6 cards for us to beat. That might be one of the best Eurekas I've ever seen. I saw some really good ones back in the day when there were more top-heavy planeswalkers in the cube, like Nicol Bolas, Ugin, that sort of thing. That stuff can be hard to beat. We play Besiju here, right? Don't we play Besiju? Nah. Fetch Underground Sea. Lrien Revealed for... Milord. I'm ready, my lord. Caleb, that is not the appropriate tone. Considering tutoring Firebolt to kill the Ignoble, I probably just want to slam Leovold. Do we have like a Black Lotus or some shit, huh? I can't believe some people looked at this mana base and they were like, I don't know, our mana might be terrible. Huh? So they were like quad triomes, a bunch of ways to tutor for them. I think I'm supposed to eat this, right? Just take the 3 damage. All right. I'm currently regretting not tutoring for a Firebolt to kill the Ignoble. Thought about it. Would have played well. What do they got for the sneak? Should have tapped the Raugrin Triome instead of the Taiga, I guess. I am going to set a stop at the beginning of combat as well. So bounce spells are not particularly good against sneak attack if they still have red mana open, which is what I've got here. Cool. Yeah, we're just gonna re-sneak the Eldrazi. Get the Annihilator in, and then later on, I'm gonna go Talisman into sneaking in the Ashen Rider. I'll clean up whatever permanents they have remaining. All these sneak attack triggers. Easy 3-0. We haven't 3-0'd yet. It's starting to look good though, huh? Yeah, maybe I should just Sunfall this turn, Feels really good to get the Leovold down, though. It's tempting to serve and see if they try and eat with Chariot, but I think I just Sunfall here. What the fuck is that quote? That's why you can't trust tournament results from back in the day. There was too much chicken. Oh, I know what that was about. Or I assume I was talking about the old fucking, the KFC strat. Has anyone ever heard of this? This was like mostly a myth, by the way. But the idea was, back in the early days of Tournament Magic, you were not allowed to sleeve your deck. That was like the rule. People were worried about sleeves being marked or whatever. The sleeve quality was a lot worse too back then. Like it was like penny sleeves and stuff. We didn't have these awesome like Dragon Shield sweet hotness things to protect our cards. So there was a legend of the KFC strat where you would bring a bucket of KFC to the tournament, and then when your opponent had their like super nice cards, and you're sitting there with your greasy fingers like, ooh, let me cut your deck, let me shuffle your deck, and then the opponent would concede rather than letting them ruin all their cards, right? When you're playing some like $20 store credit or whatever. Anyway, I assumed that's what that quote was referring to. What a nice little trophy, huh? I gotta admit, I was also not expecting to trophy that one, but I think Stips are blessed. That was a wild one. That Eureka where we put in like 6 things. My opponent's got Sneak Attack showing. I'm just like, yes, Eureka.